Hello, everybody. Welcome to session 8 of the Emoti-kaun series. I'm really proud to have made it so far. It started with a simple thought, and I would like to offer congratulations to both Sowmiya and me for persisting so far and for so long, rather. And I'm really proud of ourselves for having started this and continuing this and showing up every Thursday. I think that's an amazing thing to do. So yeah, let's start with a quick introduction once again. The lady in white and blue is Sowmiya Bhas. She is the founder and the chief executive officer of the W Therapies. She practices as a counselor, as a psychotherapist, a hypnotherapist, an advanced form of hypnotherapy called TASO. She's also an Access Bar facilitator and a teacher, and she does animal communication and shamanism and a lot of accolades to her kitty. I am Hema Subramanian. I am also a practicing hypnotherapist, a psychotherapist, and I've been working as a corporate trainer for a very long time in the corporate scene. So here we are with episode 8, like we said. Sowmiya, do you want to do a quick recap of what we did the last time?
Yes, I'll share that. So, like Hema said, 8 times. This is the 8th episode, if I can say so. So, we've covered a lot of ground. We started off with understanding what are emotions and the basics of emotions and how did we come about gathering so many types of emotions through a period of growing up our adult life. And then we moved on to looking at understanding emotions through Mahabharata. We covered a couple of episodes where we spoke about how the various characters that are there in the Mahabharata emote so emote so many emotions. Uh, and there's nothing like a certain character will have only one type of positive emotion or a negative emotion. No, everyone has all facets. And how do they go about expressing? How does it affect their lives? The emotion affects their decision making, which in turn affects everything around them. That's what we looked at. And then we moved on to the primary emotion of love. We spoke about how love and we spoke about how love is expressed in various forms for Krishna and how Krishna reciprocates that way. 4 types of love that we covered up, that is love for ourselves, love for another, love for the divine, and love for a cause. And that's just the way we are talking about it. And now, last session, we moved with uh, the self. We've talked about self-esteem, the self-confidence, and self-worth. And today we are deep diving it into that to understand where do we stand of how we love ourselves. So we have a beautiful meditation coming up, which is what I'm waiting for. Hema's going to lead us through that. So Hema, let's go.
Right. So last time, like Soumya said, there is a concept called a self. There is a self concept that we have, something that we call our own identity, and it is divided into 3 parts. The way we think about ourselves, which is called as a self worth. I'm going to share my screen here. Uh, then we have self. How does this go down? Okay. Here. This dancing thing. Okay. So how we feel about ourselves, that's called our self-esteem. And how we act based on what we think and feel about ourselves is called as a self-confidence. We've all heard of the concept called as fake it till you make it. Like showing that you are confident enough, especially for people who are working in the corporate sector. Fake it till you make it is like the mantra for many of us because we cannot afford to show that we are scared or we are worried or we are stressed. So that works a great deal for some time because the better we perform, the more we start accepting ourselves And the more we accept ourselves, the better we perform. So a lot of it is a loop of when we do well, we think good and feel good. And when we feel and think good about ourselves, automatically our self-confidence increases. So here is a quick questionnaire for you. Yeah. So there are these 10 questions, and you write, you mark it as strongly agree to this, strongly disagree. So strongly agree, agree, disagree, and strongly disagree. Okay. So take your time and just look at these statements and write the first answer that crosses your mind. Okay. So the first question is, I feel I'm a person of worth. I'm worth something. Sowmiya is being smart and writing it on her hand. Just be resourceful like that. I feel I have a number of good qualities. The third one is a contradictory, the contrary. At times, I think I'm no good at all. And you don't have to share the answers with anybody. It's just for your own reference. I'm able to do things as well as most other people. I feel I do not have much to be proud of. I take a positive attitude towards myself. Don't hesitate, just write the first answer that crosses your mind. Overall, I'm satisfied with myself. I wish I could have more respect for myself. I certainly feel useless at times. Overall, I'm inclined to think that I am a failure. Okay. So if we are done, we move to the scoring scale, the rating scale here. Here it is. For the first statement, whatever you've written, you score accordingly. So you will notice that 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7 have the same rating scale. 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7. Okay, and you will notice the other ones, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10 have the reverse rating scale, because these are contrary, converse statements, right? So you mark your score for each one of these statements, and then you add them up. You add up your score. So for example, if I have 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2, then you add it up. And this is a score out of 10 statements, 3 being the topmost answer. The score out of 30. Done. So the higher the score, the better is your self-esteem and self-worth. Okay, you don't need to share this score with me or with anybody else. It's just for you to know where you stand. Now, this scale is attributed to a very famous psychologist called Rosenberg. I think Morris Rosenberg, if I'm not mistaken. And this is a very well-known, widely used, simple self-esteem scale, okay, or self-worth scale, rather. Okay. So Now moving on, what we're going to do is the I am activity. We did this the last time, right? And I'm going to say I am 10 times. And you're going to write the first word that crosses your mind. Okay, again, you need not share this with us this time. So just gather yourself. And the first, you can write it on your phone. You can write it. Sowmiya will again use her hand, I'm presuming, if she has enough space on her hand. So let's begin. Like I said, what do? I say I am, and you complete it with a word, an adjective that crosses your mind at this moment. Okay. So let's begin. The first time, I am. The next one, I am. Third one, I am. Fourth one, I am. Fifth one, I am. Sixth one, I am. Seventh one, I am. Eighth one, I am. Ninth one, I am. 'And the last 10th one, I am. So we've written 10 I ams. Some of them may be positive. I'm going to share my scale here. Some of what I've written. You can keep yourself confidential. So it's a mix of good things and not so good things. So very surprisingly, not very surprisingly, my first I am is I'm fat. Okay, so this is what I feel about myself. Whether other people feel it or not is not the point. What you feel about yourself is the most important aspect here. Right? And then I've written, I'm worried, I'm in pain, I have some pain, physical pain today. I'm pretty, I'm successful, I'm tired, I'm talented, I'm weird, and I'm alone. So out of these 10 statements, I wanted to pick up one that you don't feel comfortable about yourself. So for example, if I say I am alone, okay, and I don't want to feel alone. So alone, lonely, it's one of these sessions we'll talk about the difference, or rather, let's say I'm worried. Okay, I'll pick this up for the sake of explanation. So when I say I'm worried, so I ask myself, what am I worried about? Right now, I'm worried about completing an assignment. Okay, that has a very tight deadline. And because I'm tired, I'm more worried because I'm pushing myself and pressurizing myself to get through my tiredness to finish that deadline so that it can be done with. Okay? But you realize what it is causing in me. It's causing more stress. It's causing more irritation towards myself, or probably it's causing more tiredness. Not just the thought running in my mind. All right. So for some of us, this worrying about deadline becomes a tendency. It becomes a habit. So every time there is a deadline, we tend to get worried. Or every time something happens, we tend to get tired. If that is the case, we know that this is not something that has developed today. It has been there for a very, very long time. Now, there are in this meditation that we're going to practice, this is called the inner child meditation. So we go back to the first time ever as a child when we felt this worry. Okay, for example, for children, completing the homework on time may become a worry. Now, as children, we don't realize the significance, but our parents are like, oh my God, it's 9 o'clock. When will you finish your homework? When will you eat? When will you go to sleep? Tomorrow you got school. So there is this entire gamut of, oh my God, something is going to happen. And their worry becomes your worry. And then that continues for a very long time. Okay? So a lot of things like that are borrowed from others as well. A lot of things like that are also created by us. So in this meditation, we go back to that little person where this entire concept or habit of worry began. And we tried to do some, remember when we spoke about last time, we looked at 10 different characters. We said that both of them face similar circumstances in life. But what mattered is their acceptance of their reality. Okay? So what we're going to try and do through this meditation is go back and accept our reality and try to drop this feeling or drop this thought. All right? So pick up one statement and we will begin. Whatever statement that you want to work on. So for example, I am working with worry right now, worry against a deadline, not meeting a deadline rather. Okay, so I want you to close your eyes. This is going to be quick. So I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath. And as you exhale, just release all the stress and the pressure of your body, your mind and your emotions. Just breathe it out. One more time, take a deep breath. And as you breathe out, just make an intention that I am willing to let go of all this stress, this pressure, any pains and aches that I'm feeling in this moment. Breathe in one more time. And breathe out. And let go. And now, deep within your mind is that event. The first time as a child, when you felt this particular emotion that you are working upon. It can be worried, it can be stressful, whatever that emotion is, or whatever the thought is. The first time I felt worried, the first time I felt lonely. And in your mind will be an event with a little younger self of you standing there, feeling the emotion because something has happened in their life. Now, walk towards this younger you. And this younger you may be shorter, much shorter than your height of today. So kneel down or go down to their level, to their eye level, and smile at your younger self. Now, tell this little child that I am your future version, your grown-up version. And I understand that you're feeling this emotion. And this emotion is very uncomfortable for you. It may have caused you pain. It may have caused you discomfort. It may have led to so many other belief systems that have not worked for you till today. Now, ask this child for their permission if you can pat their head or pat their back or touch them. Reassure them that they are safe in your presence. Tell them, I'm sorry, I took so long to come here to you. But I'm here now. Ask this child for the permission to touch them And if they allow you to do that, gently pat this child and tell this child, it's okay. It's okay to feel this way. You're going to be all right soon. And with lots of love to this little one, we will practice a forgiveness technique called Ho'oponopono, where you repeat these 4 lines. Look into the eyes of the child, pat her head, and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had to go through all of this. Please forgive me for taking so long to address this matter. I love you. I really, really love you for who you are, for exactly who you are. And thank you for allowing me to love you so much, to be with you, to help you. Once again, gently, very lovingly, hold the hand of this little younger self of yours, very gently, and repeat, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I thank you. One last time. If the little one is allowing you to hug her, give her a hug. Gently, very, very gently. Once again, say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you and I thank you. And with loads and loads of love being showered on this little one, imagine this thought or this feeling that you're carrying is floating out from your body, from your mind, completely. And imagine this thought or this feeling going up into the big, bright sun, burning this thought completely. The unnecessary thought that is preventing us from feeling free, from feeling happy, from feeling ourselves, feeling authentic. Let all of these feelings or this thought gently float away from your body and your mind into this big, bright sun, completely burning it. Now imagine this bright sunshine entering that space and filling you with confidence, with happiness, with inner peace, with lots of love for yourself, for hope, feeling extremely good about yourselves today and forever. And with this beautiful feelings of confidence, happiness, peace, and goodness, once again, look at this little younger version of yourself. Gently give her a hug and imagine that this younger self, now feeling very good about herself, is turning into light and merging into you completely. And as this little one merges into you, you also feel the goodness. the happiness, the confidence, the inner peace, and all these amazing attributes that you ever wanted to feel. And with all these beautiful feelings now having become a part of you, then gently open your eyes and come back to the here and now. Very surprisingly, it started to rain very heavily here. So, just a quick check back on how the experience was. Sowmiya, do you want to go first? We'll ask Paru as well.
I never leave a chance to do one of Hema's meditations, and it always leaves me feeling really good and calm. So it was beautiful for me. Thank you, Hema.
Welcome. That's nice. Good work on yourselves. Paru, what about you? Did you happen to feel?
Yes. Yeah, I really could follow your instructions very easily, and it was in a very slow pace and good to follow that and kind of really visualize what you're saying.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
very
That's
nice.
great. So maybe over a period of time, we'll introduce more meditations like this. Like you call it meditation or you call it healing, whatever we want to call it. But over a period of time, when we work on ourselves, we are able to chip off whatever it is that is not working for us and then move towards a freer life, a happier life that we all deserve. So, okay, that's great. So, on this pleasant note, we will end today's session. And next time, we will meet back with more talk on self-esteem. How do we feel good about ourselves? Or how do we tackle emotions that come in the way of feeling good about ourselves? Okay. So, all right. Just be with yourself, feel all this happiness, and we will see you the next time. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Hema,
Yes.
recording? No, the question is, how do we do with the score that we got, right? So, how do we take action on based on the score? So can you
Yeah.
also
So
tell?
if you have scored, I'm being optimistic. If you have scored closer to 30, which means your understanding and your perspective about yourself is good enough. So there's nothing to worry about. But if the scores are lower, then we pick up each one of this like we picked up today. So let's say today we picked up, I'm worried. Or we pick up other beliefs that we have about ourselves or other emotions we have about yourselves. So I'll give you a very interesting example that happened to both Sowmiya and me very recently. Because we are taking a class together, we went through an exam. And in the exam, the supervisor happened to tell us, give us some feedback. No, although we are older now, that feedback really shook both of us up. In the sense of, oh my God, I did a wrong thing. I shouldn't have done this. I should have had more brain. I think the more we grow up, the tougher we are on ourselves. And being tough on ourselves is a moot activity, honestly. So, why are we tough on ourselves? Because we think that, oh, we should not make a mistake. It's not good to make a mistake. Or I am not a good, I'm not good enough if I make a mistake. Or something like that. I'm just giving you examples here. So there are so many beliefs and so many feelings that we carry about ourselves. And as we start to rewind and accept those parts, that it's okay for us to feel bad. It's okay for me to feel hurt. It's okay for me to make a mistake once in a while. It's okay for me to not live up to my own expectations or somebody else's expectations. So slowly and steadily, that score will keep rising. See, at the end of it, there is no perfect person. Everybody has these hang-ups. I don't know. Okay, I think a special mention to Ratan Tata, who we lost yesterday on this physical plane. And today, because there are a lot of videos and articles being circulated about him, there is this one article that I came across where he says that I used to feel very lonely. No, we don't view them like that, but we all know that we feel all of this. We feel lonely, we feel upset with ourselves, we feel hurt, we feel let down or disappointed, we feel lost, and we feel so many things about ourselves, about other people. The more we come to acceptance with all this, the happier, the freer life we will live. Okay? So, to answer your question simply, through all of this, the score doesn't matter. It's just an indicator that there is work to do. That's the only, it's just showing you the direction. That this is your direction, you have work to do. Then we will look at these small little things, activities that will help us understand and accept ourselves better. That's what we are leading to. Okay?
It's a self-worth test that was there, right? Yeah. So if it is a low score, you can check up why do you have that low self-worth and what can you do to have better self-worth. So explore that. And if you have a higher score, then yay.
You're sorted, yeah. Then maybe we'll
Yeah.
do even more sessions.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zoom is going to throw us out as always. So we'll see you. It's a lot of thunder and lightning in the background. So
Bye,
we'll see you.
Parvati. Bye, Hema.
Bye.